We are approaching 1 year of Tiana's Bayou adventure in Magic Kingdom. So now that the dust has really settled, I think we can take a step back and examine if this change from Splash to Tiana was an upgrade or a downgrade. We all know the controversy surrounding the source material for Splash Mountain, so I'm gonna put that aside and break down the rides side by side to determine, in my opinion, if this renovation was worth it. We have to start, of course, with the queue. Splash Mountain's queue started outdoors with a mostly unthemed area playing generic Frontierland music, before winding inside a barn structure and then into the caves that had the homes of a few various rare animals, beginning the introduction to the story before you even got on the ride. The Tiana's queue keeps the same layout, but with the addition of a car and a beautiful mural outside, extensive props related to Tiana's family story adorning the walls inside, and a Tiana's kitchen section that draws you in and makes you feel like you're really stepping into Tiana's world. The whole setting is enhanced with different versions of songs from the movie playing throughout. There's no more section with rare animal homes just before the loading dock, of course, but that's the only real subtraction from Splash to Tiana's. All of the other changes are a plus. Overall, I gotta give this point to Tiana's Bayou adventure for the better queue. Now let's take a look at the music. The Splash Mountain medley is, to put it simply, an iconic piece of music that is now deeply intertwined in Walt Disney World history. I don't know what the reaction was to it when Song of the South originally came out, but decades of zippity-doo-dah being woven in and around all facets of Frontierland, even into parades, has cemented the music's legacy. That being said, the music for Tiana's is chocked full of instant classics from the movie, plus a new piece, Special Spice, that has the opportunity to do exactly what Zippity-Doo-Dah did before it. Way too many people are getting blinded by nostalgia on this front. You love Zippity-Doo-Dah because you grew up with it in the park, but children today are gonna grow up hearing Special Spice in that same way. So when they're your age, they'll feel as fondly about it as you do about Splash Mountain's music. On top of that, way more people have seen The Princess and the Frog than have actually seen Song of the South. So to the average person, the new music is much more accessible, as families will be able to recognize and connect with the music from Princess and the Frog much more easily than the music of a movie that's been banned from public sale. Don't get me wrong, I love the Splash Mountain music, but Tiana's takes the point in this category too. Next up, let's take a look at the animatronics. This section is a pretty easy decision for me. The Splash animatronics were classic and cherished, but Tiana's animatronics blow them out of the water. We still have the cast full of fun and quirky animals just like in Splash, but now we have cutting-edge current generation animatronics to go along with them. The only pushback here is that the new animatronics are having a decent bit of trouble with frequent breakdowns and repairs, but I think this will get smoothed out over time. Plus, the Splash Mountain animatronics also went down pretty frequently on a consistent basis, or were so basic in their movements that you wouldn't even be able to tell that they were broken anyway. Another point for Tiana. Now let's look at setting. When Tiana's was announced, I saw a lot of people up in arms that a location set in Louisiana didn't fit into Frontierland, which is supposed to, of course, be on the Great Western Frontier. But this argument immediately falls flat when you remember that Splash Mountain is set in Georgia, which the keen observers in the audience may recognize as much further east than Louisiana, much further away from the frontier. So, another point to Tiana. But now let's look at the story, not of the source materials, but the story within the attraction itself. Splash Mountain was the story of Brer Rabbit wanting something more out of life, leaving his home, finding himself in peril at the hands of Brer Fox, and making his triumphant return back home. It was a fully fleshed out, self-contained story. Tiana's, on the other hand, is about Tiana and her friends preparing to host a party. It's a significantly less robust storyline that undeniably feels a little convoluted as you ride through it. Disney's argument is that there would be a TV show coming on Disney Plus to fill in the story surrounding the ride, but that show has since been canceled. And even if it did happen, I really don't like the idea of having to watch a TV show to understand a theme park attraction. It should be self-sustained. Story is such a huge part of an attraction, so I'm actually going to give 3 points to Splash Mountain for this one, as it pretty much completely dominates this field. Now we come to the most abstract part of the program, the vibe rating. Splash had a decent vibe, but it was evident that the ride was aging and the energy throughout the ride was not always there as you wove from scene to scene with some downtimes in between here and there. Tiana's feels more like a constant pace and has a more celebratory feel from start to finish, like you're really going to this party that they're throwing with upbeat and exciting music embracing you throughout your journey. While Splash's approach works better for a detailed storyline, Tiana's option produces a more fun and energetic overall experience in my opinion, so it gets the point. So now as we take a step back to examine the scores, according to my calculations, Tiana's Bayou Adventure is our winner. Tiana's actually swept the competition outside of the storyline element, but the storyline element is the most important, so it almost swung it back to Splash in the end. Of course, with this being a brand new attraction, you'd like to see it sweep every aspect without question, but I do think that Tiana's is ultimately an upgrade over Splash Mountain, and it's a welcome change in my book. But of course, this is all based on my personal point system, and maybe you value the storyline aspect even higher, so maybe your final score might be different. And you know what? That's okay. It's okay to have differing opinions about a theme park attraction. We don't need to start a dang blood feud over this. Some people skip the American Adventure in Epcot. I love it and think it's a marvel of engineering. Lots of people skip Living with the Land. I literally have it referenced in a tattoo on my body. It's okay to not always agree. That's what's so great about theme parks. It's a different world for every single person that steps foot in it. So, let me know what you think of Tiana's Bayou Adventure in the comments below, and if you like this Disney deep dive, please be sure to subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.